One of the features of the flight model in Star Citizen is the ability to toggle between coupled and decoupled flight, but the tutorial doesn't give a great explanation for what that actually means and when pilots might use each. I'm Farrister, and this video will explain what decoupled flight mode is, as well as what situations you might consider using coupled and decoupled modes. To start with, your ship will usually default to coupled flight. That means that the ship will naturally want to move in the direction you're facing, and accordingly, as you make throttle adjustments or directional changes, the ship will respond automatically relative to where your nose is pointed. That feels natural for many pilots because that's how most aircraft operate in the real world. Decoupled mode is the opposite. It means that your spacecraft will continue with whatever velocity it has, and as you rotate your ship, any new strafe or throttle movements will impart new velocity based on your current attitude. So your translation commands are decoupled from your direction of travel. Take the example where you're travelling in a straight line with the throttle fully opened and then pull the nose up 90 degrees. In coupled mode, your ship will adjust your direction of travel to the new direction and arrest your previous momentum. There may be a momentary drift whilst your thrusters fire, but you'll eventually be flying in the new direction in a perfectly straight line. Making the same manoeuvre in decoupled mode will still have your ship facing in the new direction, but the thrusters will not automatically kill your previous momentum, so you'll be continuously drifting in the old direction as well as travelling in the new one. It's possible to arrest that drift manually by firing some strafe thrusters, but the spacecraft will no longer do it automatically for you. The effect is accentuated when cutting the throttle and turning in the new direction. That decoupled flight is more like how an actual spacecraft would operate, but may feel a little less intuitive. It also requires a pilot to keep track of their direction of travel, as that will be independent of the direction that the nose is pointed, and that can kind of be the point for some of the use cases. And there is a use case for both coupled and decoupled flight. As a pilot who almost exclusively flies coupled mode, it can be much easier to manage, requiring much less brain power, and is more accessible to new players. Coupled flight is particularly useful when flying planetside, with the flight computer taking care of dealing with pesky gravity. Decoupled mode is best used by pilots effecting more advanced maneuvers. Some great example might be for absolute fine control whilst dogfighting or low flying. It pairs particularly well for those using a dual stick setup. Another widely used situation is for ship landings, as in decoupled mode the spacecraft will retain velocity, which can make for very smooth landings. And there's the natural dogfighting position of quickly turning at somebody that's chasing you to fire back on them without changing direction. The default keybind to toggle between coupled and decoupled flight mode is left Alt and C, and in most ships the indicator for coupled or decoupled mode is on the heads-up display on the left-hand side. The heads-up display also shows the velocity vector, which is the direction your ship is currently travelling in, unless your direction of travel is mostly straightforward or completely still. Getting the most out of all of the flight modes in Star Citizen takes time and practice, but that's about it for the basics of coupled and decoupled. Let me know in the video comments if you have any questions, and I'll do my best to answer. And as always, if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, if this kind of thing is helpful, you might like to consider it. But otherwise, and as always, thank you for watching.